What's up guys, BltzZ here today bringing you a major update for Final Fantasy XVI. Earlier this morning, Square Enix finally revealed the official teaser website of Final Fantasy XVI. This website is packed with tons of information regarding the three main characters, their full names, and backstory. We also have new information about the world of Final Fantasy XVI, including the different factions and their backstory as well. The link to the teaser website is in the description below if you want to follow along with me and check it out for yourself. We got a good amount of information to cover, so let's jump right into the characters. Starting off with the main protagonist who we finally have a name for, introducing Clive Rossfield, the firstborn son of the Archduke of Rosaria. Though all expected him to inherit the Phoenix Flames and awaken as its dominant, Destiny instead chose his younger brother Joshua to bear this burden. In search of a role of his own, Clive dedicated himself to mastering the blade. His practice pays off when, at just 15 years of age, he wins the Ducal tournament and is dubbed the first Shield of Rosaria, tasked to guard the Phoenix and blessed with the ability to wield a part of its fire. Alas, Clive's promising career is to end in tragedy at the hands of a mysterious dark icon, Ifrit, setting him on a dangerous road to revenge. So right off the bat, we get more context and confirmation that Clive is the older brother of Joshua, though it's not mentioned that they share the same mother, so that theory of him being a bastard older son may still be in play. Since the Icon Phoenix has chosen Joshua as a dominant, Clive focuses more on his physical prowess and combat. They mentioned that when he was just 15 years old, he won a tournament which had the kingdom recognize his skill, and they decided to make him a first shield guarding the Phoenix, which also gives him the ability to wield some of its power, which we see from time to time in the revealed trailer. I don't believe he is 15 years old in the trailer. He just may be a bit older, possibly around 17 or 18 years old, and maybe 3 years prior he may have won that tournament and obtained that title. They mentioned specifically that his career comes to an end once the Icon Ifrit sets him on a path to revenge. From the context we broke down in the Japanese trailer, we saw that Ifrit unfortunately murders Joshua in front of Clive. So this could be a self-imposed exile by himself, or maybe since he failed to protect the Phoenix, the kingdom casts him away and strips him of his duty. I mean, damn bro, you really only have one job though. I mean, the story already sounds like a fun one. I can't wait to get more information on these characters and see where else we'll be heading in this world. Up next, we have Joshua Rossfield, the second son of the Archduke of Rosaria and Clive's younger brother by 5 years. Joshua awoke as the dominant of Phoenix soon after his birth. Despite his noble upbringing, Joshua treats all of his father's subjects with warmth and affection, none more than Clive, who he deeply admires. Joshua often laments that it was he, the frail and bookish younger son, who was granted the command of the Firebird's flames and not his stronger, braver brother. While Clive will gladly throw himself into any danger, Joshua quails at the sight of a carrot on his dinner plate. But carrots become the least of his concern when he too is swept into the tragic events that change Clive's life forever. So Joshua is born into him wielding the power of Phoenix and being its dominant. He sounds like a genuine nice person and treats everyone with respect. He also wishes that it was his older brother Clive who was chosen as the Phoenix dominant, because he is more or less a coward and not focusing on combat related duties. They mention specifically that he is frail and prefers to read books, which I mean, damn bro, people can read books and still clap cheek square, don't be hating. But he greatly respects his brother and they seem to have a great relationship with one another. Unfortunately, as we can assume, he activates his Phoenix powers to battle Ifrit and save his kingdom, but ultimately loses that fight, which sets Clive's story in motion for revenge. Which is, I mean, damn, it's pretty rough, because I mean, considering he's known as a coward, and the moment when he finally steps up to do some badass shit, he just gets murked by Ifrit. F's in the chat for Joshua, guys, at least as of right now in the beginning of the story. Joshua is 5 years younger than Clive, so he could possibly be between 10 to 13 years of age when we see him in the trailer. That is, of course, assuming from earlier that Clive is either 15 to 18 years old, somewhere within that range of the trailer too. And the final and third character that we have information for is Jill Warwick. Born in the fallen Northern Territories, Jill was taken from her homeland at a tender age to become a ward of Rosaria, securing peace between the two warring nations. The Archduke insisted that she be raised alongside his sons, and now at 12 years of age, she's as much of a part of the Rossfield house as Clive and Joshua. Ever kind, gracious, and unassuming, Jill has become a trusted confidant to the brothers. I am getting more Game of Thrones vibes here regarding what Ned Stark did to the Iron Islands. He took their oldest son, Theon Greyjoy, in as a ward to his kingdom to secure peace between Winterfell and the Iron Islands. Ned also raised him like his own son, similar to what the Archduke did with Jill. She is more or less a sister of the Rossfield brothers and makes up their trio. It's going to be interesting to see how her story comes into play when everything unfolds in the game. And that's it for now on the characters, as they only have these 3 currently mentioned. I'm pretty sure we will get more information very soon on other characters, or even more on these specific ones that they've mentioned already. What do you guys think about them? Let me know in the comments below. One other thing that Square Enix wants you guys to know is that only 29% of you guys that currently watch and love these videos are subscribed. Hit that subscribe button right now and notification bell so you don't miss out on any future updates for Final Fantasy. Subscribing helps me out a ton, and it's a free way to support the channel if you love the content. So please take a second, hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me, man. I really appreciate that. Let's jump into the next segment regarding the world of Final Fantasy 16. The land of Final Fantasy 16 is called Valysia, a land blessed in the light of the Mother Crystals. The land of Valysia is studded with Mother Crystals, glittering mountains of crystal that tower over realms around them, blessing them with Aether. For generations, people have flocked to these beacons to take advantage of their blessing, using the Aether to conjure magics and let them live lives of comfort and plenty. Great powers have grown up around each Mother Crystal, and an uneasy peace has long reigned between them. Yet now peace falters as the spread of the blight threatens to destroy their dominions. So early settlers of these kingdoms pick and chose which Mother Crystals they wanted to build their kingdoms around. The crystals provide power and magic, which we can already assume caused many fights on kingdoms for greed, wanting more power, and of course magic. As we learn more about each kingdom, we probably will hear more about the different kingdoms and factions and how their relationships are with one another because of this. The Icons and their dominance. The Icons are the most powerful and deadly creatures in Valysia. Each resides within a dominant, a single man or woman who is blessed with the ability to call upon their dread power. In some nations, these dominants are treated as royalty in admiration of this strength. In others, they are bound in fear of it and forced to serve as weapons of war. Those who are born as dominants cannot escape their fate, however cruel it may be. So we have kingdoms like Joshua's, who respects the Icon Phoenix and its powers and choose to not use it as an instrument of war unless provoked, I'm assuming. Whereas many other places enslave the dominants and force them to use the Icon's strength to fulfill their objectives, which always seems to work out so well for them, am I right? And finally, we have the realms of Valicia, starting off with the Grand Duchy of Rosario, where Joshua and Clive are from. Long ago, a group of small independent provinces in the western Valicia found strength in unity and formed the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. After years of relative prosperity, the duchy now finds itself threatened by the spread of the Blight, a threat that left unchecked would doubtless usher the realm to ruin. Rosaria draws its Aether from the Drake's Breath, a mother crystal situated on a volcanic island off the coast. The dominant of Phoenix, Icon of Fire, is enthroned as Archduke when they come of age. Based off this, in regards to the knight who is surprised to see a second fire-based icon in Ifrit, it seems that at this time, only Phoenix is known to be the fire elemental icon. There is also a disease of some sort called the Blight going around, which could be that of the plague. And the Mother Crystal of Rosaria is located on a volcanic island, which sounds pretty badass, and I hope we get to go visit and see that. And their sigil has a phoenix on it, embracing their icon, and it's color red on the flag, which looks pretty badass with the white and almost looking navy blue. Up next is the Holy Empire of Sandbreck. Sandbreck is the largest theocratic force in Valysia. The Empire's holy capital of Oriflame is built around the Drake's Head, the mother crystal that blesses the surrounding provinces with abundant Aether. The people happily take advantage of this, living in comfort and security under the watchful gaze of the Holy Emperor, whom they worship as the living incarnation of the one true deity. The dominant of Blank serves as the Empire's champion, taking to the field in times of war to rout its enemies. Sandbreck seems to be very religious and governs itself around that. One thing I do notice is that the icon's name is actually blacked out, but I believe from the sigil it could very well be Shiva, as we've seen Shiva mentioned in the trailer. Or it could be Tsukuyomi, the moon god summoned. We already know Shiva appears in the game, so it's interesting to see why they'd block this out, unless it's something entirely different like Tsukuyomi. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think this summon may be. The bottom of the sigil seems to have two dragons with pointed horns facing each other, or that could be an alternate look of the summon Ixion, I'm guessing? Not really, maybe, because the next one, the Kingdom of Waylode, looks to be Ixion. Waylode claims the entirety of Ash, the eastern half of Valysia, as its dominion. The kingdom's control of the continent has often been tested by the orcs and other beastmen who make their home there. But the current ruler of the realm, dominant of Blank, has succeeded in quelling their rebellions using the power of the kingdom's mother crystal, Drake's Spine. This new king has built up a mighty army with which he now seeks to test the borders of his neighbors. This kingdom has a new king who seems to be power or battle hungry, and it may seem to be a problem in the story. As they mention, he's gearing up to test the borders of their neighboring kingdoms. Their sigil has a horned horse on it, and that the icon's name is also blacked out. So I can only assume that it's maybe Ixion, or maybe that horse is the horse that Odin rides on in battle. but most likely this is Ixion to me with an interesting design of its horn. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think this one is. Up next is the Dhalmekian Republic. The Dhalmekian Republic is made up of 5 states from which the members of its ruling parliament are drawn. Its mother crystal, Drake's Fang, is half hidden in the heart of a mountain range. The Republic's control over it and its aether, securing the obedience of a large group of southern Valicia. The Dominant of Titan, Icon of Earth, is installed as a special advisor to Parliament and has a significant say in its decision making. In the trailer, we see the Dhalmekian Republic using the icon Titan to fight against Shiva. This is most likely taking place when Clive Rossfield is much older and seeking his path for revenge. Their sigil has Titan in the middle of it and surrounds him with 5 elements: fire, water, earth, air, and void, which I'm assuming is the purple one. These represent the 5 states that make up the Dhalmekian Republic, which could mean it's a pretty large nation itself. The Dominant Titan is a special advisor to their realm, so that makes them a very prominent figure in their decision making. The crystal being hidden in the heart of a mountain is a great reference to Titan's usual design, being that his heart is a target point in battle. Up next, we have the Iron Kingdom, a small group of islands off the coast of Storm, the western half of Valysia's twin realms. Here, the Crystalline Orthodox, a extreme fate that worships crystals, reigns supreme. The Iron Kingdom controls Drake's Breath, the mother crystal that sits at the heart of one of their islands, a long source of contention with neighboring Rosaria, isolated and aloof from their mainland nations. The Ironbloods speak their own language. Orthodox doctrine judges dominants to be unholy abominations, and any unlucky enough to be born on the islands are executed. So the Iron Kingdom is a drastically different kingdom in which they do not embrace their icons. They even go as far as to kill the dominant to prevent them from existing. They view dominants and icons as unholy abominations, and their religious practices greatly differs from that of the other kingdoms. It does not mention what their icon may be, but I'm assuming because they are on islands and surrounded by water, it very well could be Leviathan, but this could be very different. I mean, who knows? It does say that they did have beef with Rosaria since they are neighbors, so maybe this could be where Ifrit is from. That could provide to be a great theory considering that they are neighbors, they do share the same fire elemental crystal, so maybe a rogue group from their nation stowed away the dominant and prevented them from being executed and killed at birth. And now they are using Ifrit to further their agenda and take out their neighboring realm in Rosario, which is home to the Phoenix. There is also a slight resemblance to their sigil with the 2 axes that reminds me of the tattoos on the faces of the mercenaries that Clive Rossfield is working with in the trailers. And the final realm that we have is the Crystalline Dominion. The Crystalline Dominion sits at the heart of Valysia, built around the tallest of all mother crystals, Drake's Tail. Many bloody battles were fought for control of this small plot of land due to its strategic importance, till the warring realms finally agreed to an armistice. As part of the peace treaty, the islands around Drake's Tail become an autonomous dominion led by the Council of Representatives from the surrounding nations, each realm enjoying equal claim to the Mother Crystal's blessing. No dominant makes their home there. This location is at the very center of Valicia, and it seems that the realms have all stopped fighting over it. Instead, they all lay claim equally to the land. The sigil has 4 nations, and it seems like it's touching the center of the crystal, symbolizing their equally distributed claim of the land. This could very well be an ice-based elemental and therefore where Shiva eventually resides. However, they already stated that no dominant or icon is from there, so that information is left to be discovered. And that's all for the world of Final Fantasy XVI. There are 6 different realms with unique thought put into them, which I cannot wait to hopefully visit and learn more about. I really do hope we get a chance to enjoy the world of this game, as the map that we have of the layout looks to be very impressive for a Final Fantasy game. I would love to break down this map in a future video because we got a lot more to unpack from this teaser site in the upcoming months. This gave us so much context about the world, I just can't wait to see how that will be applied in the actual gameplay. Will this be an open world game where we are free to roam around, or will there be zones locked off to story progression which loads us into new areas? When we find out, I'll be sure to let you guys know, so stay tuned and hit that notification bell so you guys do not miss out on that. And to end this off, we have a few messages from the developers. The first one comes from Naoki Yoshida, Final Fantasy XVI producer. Yeah, that's right, just producer. Naoki Yoshida here. How did you enjoy the trailer? The exclusive footage comprised of both battles and cutscenes running in real time represents but a fraction of what our team has accomplished since the start of development on this, an all-new Final Fantasy game. In that span, this team size has grown from a handful of core members to a full-fledged unit that continues to polish and build upon what they have created so far, all to provide players an experience unmatched in terms of story and gameplay. Our next big information reveal is scheduled for 2021, so in the meantime, I expect everyone to have fun speculating, as we have a lot in store. not only for the newest entry in the series, Final Fantasy 16, but for Final Fantasy 14 as well. Needless to say, I will be working hard on both. And also from director Hiroshi Takai, when Final Fantasy 1 was released, I was just another player, a young student with big dreams. By the time Final Fantasy 5 was in the works, I had earned myself a seat at the developer's table, albeit at the very end. From there, I moved to online, leaving my mark on both Final Fantasy 11 and Final Fantasy 14, and now 16. From the establishment of an all-new development environment and learning the ins and outs of the PS5. The team and I have taken upon countless challenges during our journey to bring you the 16th chapter in the storied Final Fantasy franchise. And though we're pouring our hearts and souls into this project each and every day, it still may be some time before we can get it into your hands. However, I promise the wait will be worth it. This to me confirms that we will not be receiving this game in 2021 or maybe even 2022. There's still lots of stuff left for them to do, but I do hope we at least get Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 sometime before then to at least hold us over. And that wraps it up for this video, guys. Final Fantasy 16 just got a ton of new information unpacked for us to sift through and enjoy. Over the next few weeks, I will be dissecting the content revealed through the website and even more. So make sure you guys do not miss out on that. We have our very first giveaway starting now, and I'm just waiting for that t-shirt to get back to me because they are a bit behind with all this COVID stuff. The giveaway winner will also be winning a free game of their choice, but of course the standard edition of it. More giveaway information will be out soon in a future video. And after that, we will be doing our PS5 giveaway, and you do not want to miss out a chance to get a PS5 because you were not subscribed. So hit the subscribe button right now. Shoutouts to the members on the channel. You guys are the real MVPs holding it down. Your contributions to the channel do not go unnoticed, and you members get double entries to the giveaway, giving you a higher chance of winning. So join and become a member today to increase your chances of winning our giveaways. You also get video shoutouts like this and access to our custom channel emojis. We're also starting Metal Gear Solid 3 tomorrow, Friday, October 30th, here on YouTube. This is my favorite game of all time, so you definitely do not want to miss out on that. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy related videos are coming your way and you won't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.